Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Gemma and today I'm going to be running you through my potential TBR for the Past and Future Readathon. So if you missed my announcement video, the Past and Future Readathon is a readathon that is running through the entirety of January and is being hosted by myself, the lovely Emily from Novell Novels, who is the original creator of this readathon, Jack from Spread Bookjoy, and Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. And this is like the most zen readathon that you can join in with. There is no requirement to fulfill all of the prompts. If you just fill one, that is fine. If you want to go for a bingo, as we have this beautiful bingo board created by Alice, then go for a bingo, or you can fill in all the prompts if you are a completist. I will pick a book for all prompts, but if you have been here before, you will know that the likelihood of me completing 8 bookish prompts is about 0. But we're going to pick a book for each of them anyway and see how we get on. So let's just run through the books I have chosen, and as I said, the ones I get to, I will get to, and the ones that I don't get to, I will get to another day. So for the first prompt, favourite author, I have decided to pick a Thomas Hardy book, and I have gone for The Well Beloved. Now, I could sit here and give you some bullshit about what this book is about, but the truth is I don't know. The truth is I looked through and it was the shortest Hardy novel that I haven't read, and so that one went on the TBR. The front cover looks a bit like this. It's Thomas Hardy. I want to read all of his work at some point, and I haven't read this one, so it goes towards that general goal that is like lurking in the ether of my brain. Then the next prompt is to read a book from the future. So for a book from the future, I am going to pick Record of a Spaceborn Few by Becky Chambers. I am buddy reading this in January with Sandy from Miss Reads a Lot, Sarah from Freshly Read Books, and Fraser from Fraser Simon's Springboard Thought. And this is the third in the Wayfarer series, and we have read all of these together and are really, really loving them. I'm probably loving them the most, but I think everyone's generally enjoying the ride. So yeah, we will be picking this one up in January, and I am very, very much looking forward to it. Then the next prompt is to relive your youth, so a children's book for that, and for that I'm going to pick Huckleberry Finn by I nearly said by Tom Sawyer. It's not by Tom Sawyer, by Mark Twain. This is a bind up of Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer, which is where I'm getting myself a little bit muddled. But this is a classic children's book that I've never read. I've had this on my shelf for ages. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit intimidated because look how small that font is. Yeah, we'll give it a go. And I'm buddy reading this one with Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, so I know that one will definitely get read. So 2 out of the 3 so far will definitely get read because they are buddy reads. Ding! Next up we have an anticipated read, and for that I'm going to go for Know My Name by Chanel Miller. So about a month ago I put up a help me prioritise my audio TBR library, and this was one of the books that are on that list, and it got a lot of votes. Between this and North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, they were the 2 stand-up books that everyone was like, Gemma, you need to read those like now. So I am very much anticipating this, and I'm going to go with the judgment of those that voted on that video, and I'm going to read Know My Name, which is a non-fiction account of a young woman, Chanel Miller, who was sexually assaulted by Brock Turner and her experience with that. Next up is the prompt, set the tone for the year. So one of the things I really want to focus on in 2023 is going back to more fantasy. I used to read a lot of fantasy, and then I came onto BookTube and I got very, very distracted by all the literary fiction and literary fiction prizes and all of that jazz, and I've sort of got sucked into it, and I haven't read as much fantasy. So I'd really like to rectify that in 2023. And to set me on my way is another buddy read, and this time Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. This will be my first Brandon Sanderson, and I feel like I can't really call myself a fantasy fan if I haven't read Brandon Sanderson. So it's going to happen, and I'm reading this with the lovely Kristen from Enter the Book. So this is a standalone within Sanderson's Cosmere world universe, and I've also heard this is quite a good place to start. I think this may have been one of the first published in the Cosmere. I may be making that up. But yes, I'm really, really looking forward to getting to this. The next prompt is a TBR Vet, and for that I'm going to be picking up Slaughterhouse 5 by Vonnegut, which is the longest standing audiobook that I have. I've heard this is very weird. I think it's set roughly around World War II. Anytime I've mentioned this in a video, it gets very polarised opinions, from you will hate it to this is so much fun, you will love it. So we shall see, but it's not very long, and I've never read any Kurt Vonnegut before, so we will give it a whirl. Then the next one is an older protagonist, and for that I'm going to pick Catherine Howard, The Tainted Queen. This is the 5th in the 6 Tudor Queens series by Alison Weir, and we are reading this for the Tudor Along, so myself and Emily are hosting a read through of this entire series, and January and February is The Tainted Queen. This I think is probably the shortest of the ones we've read so far, at 450 pages, so that's good. And the older protagonist in this is King Henry. Obviously the main protagonist is Catherine Howard, and she is like 12 when she gets married. I think she's a bit older than that, but you get my point. But Henry is very old in this. He's in his 50s, and yes, so maybe slightly bending the prompt a bit, but I don't care. So yes, this is what I'm going to pick up for that prompt. And then the final book is a prompt from Before You Were Born, and for that I'm going to pick Jamaica In by Daphne de Maurier. So this is the January and February pick for the FOMO book club, which I host with Jack, Spreadbook Choi, and Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. So this will definitely be read either in January or February. It will probably be one of the later ones I pick up in January if I get to it. But yes, it's a de Maurier. I think it's south the Cornish coast. I think it's smugglery. Is that a word? We're going to call it a word. Actually, Jack has, I think today, put out a summary of what Jamaica In is about and why you should read it, so I will link that video below. But yes, very much looking forward to getting to this, but as I say, I will leave it towards the end of January, because otherwise by the time we do the live show at the end of February, I'll have forgotten all about it. So those are the 8 books that I am potentially going to read for the Past and Future Readathon. I would really love to know if you are joining in, and if you have a TBR and what books are on it. I will make sure that I put the bingo board up on my community tab. I will put it on Instagram as well, but it is also available from the other co-hosts as well, if I don't get around to it. But yes, let me know if you're joining in. If you wanted to see the other books that are on my audio TBR, as I discussed earlier, I will leave that video here, and I will catch you all very soon with another one. Bye guys.